Where's Josh gone? Josh? Where are you?
I'm in the shed.
Alright, what are you doing?
Playing. Come and see.
Okay, I'm coming down. Ow. It's me head. Josh!
Hello!
Thought you might want to play this.
Nah, I don't want to play Star Wars. I want to play this.
What's wrong with Star Wars? I thought you loved Star Wars.
Dreamcast is way better.
What?
I'm playing Half-Life.
What are you playing?
Half-Life. It's much better than Star Wars.
You don't want to play Star Wars, you want to play on the Dreamcast?
Yeah. I want to play Star Wars.
Okay. So,
I want to play Star Wars.
I thought we were going to look at the Spectrum today.
No, no, I want to do the Dreamcast
Do you want?
today.
Right. Okay, I have to rewrite the script then. Do you want to look at Dreamcast today?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to repair it first. It's got a problem.
Okay.
Okay, Dreamcast it is. What are you playing?
I've just told you. Half-Life.
Nice. Hello, welcome to the Retro Shed again. I'm Barry, and this is
Joshua.
Mr. Joshua. So,
Which is getting old now. We're going to have to change that. It's getting old. Come on, me
What
saying,
is saying
Joshua, like that.
Okay, just say your name normally then.
Joshua.
Joshua.
That's a bit boring, actually.
That is a bit boring. Anyway, we've recently got hold of a Sega Dreamcast. Now, this is a console that I pretty much ignored from the date of its launch. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't interested in it. But, you know, for the Retro Shed, we thought we really need to have a look at this console. And do you know what? I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. What a great little console. I mean, just look at it. I love it so much. It's like an unloved little puppy runt in a litter of stray puppies. It's great.
That it's not. It's just a console.
Come on then, right.
Play Sonic Adventure together on Dreamcast. Up to 6 billion players.
Yes, but what a thoroughbred console. It's more like a greyhound. Back in the day, this thing was tearing up the competition. Hardware-wise, it was far beyond most other consoles of its time. I mean, it had arcade-quality graphics and features that are, you know, far ahead of its time. I mean, just look at his little tail wagging there.
It hasn't got a tail, it's just a console.
It's not just any old console. This is the sad end to Sega's 18-year contribution to the home console market. And what an amazing 18 years Sega had.
But if it was such a great console, what went wrong? Why was the puppy put down before it had a chance to become a great loving old dog?
See, now you're doing it. You're using doggy metaphors too.
That's your fault.
But so the question does beg, actually, what happened to the Dreamcast? Why did this end up being the sad end to Sega in the home console market? We think this wonderful little box needs a closer inspection, which is what we're going to do today.
Get out your magnifying glass.
That's right. But our little console has been in its box far too long, and when we opened it and it saw the light of day,
it doesn't know what day it is.
It didn't know what day it was. It doesn't even know what year it was. It's been hibernating like a tortoise in a cardboard box underneath the stairs.
Oh my God, Bar, stop using the animal metaphors.
I love animals. Anyway, yeah. The first thing we needed to do, actually, was a bit of open heart surgery on our Dreamcast. A bit of TLC, because the CMOS battery needed
TLC
updating.
stand for?
Tender loving care.
Oh.
Now, if you guys have got a Dreamcast and it asks you for the date and time every time you turn it on, the chances are you've got a dead, you've got a dead CMOS battery. Now, the CMOS battery makes sure it supplies 3 volts to the main board, and it makes sure that the date and time settings are kept up to date when the box is switched off. This battery has got a shelf life of about 10 years, and once that battery's dead, there is nothing you can do about it but replace it, and the Dreamcast just doesn't know what the date and time is.
When we switched the hours on, it thought it was 1999.
Yeah, perhaps Prince had a lot to do with that, actually. I reckon Prince had a hand in making this.
Now, the problem with the Dreamcast is that the battery is not easily replaceable.
No.
At all. You have to open it up, and the battery's soldered to the board inside the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
So it's a case of opening it up, locating the actual battery itself,
Yeah.
unsoldering the dead one, and then replacing it with the new one.
That's right, yeah. Oh, someone's just had a text message. But in how unprofessional. Well, in our case, we decided to get hold of a battery holder. I thought this is going to be much better than just replacing it with another battery. So in future, with a battery holder, it'll be easier just to pop the dead battery out and put a new one in.
Yeah, so you can solder the battery holder to the board, and then just slip the battery out and put a new one in.
That's
instead
right,
of unsoldering the actual battery from the board every time you want to replace it.
So we've got a replacement battery, we've got the tools, we've got the soldering on. All we need is a vertical battery holder. And, well, have you seen one anywhere? I've not seen one at all. I've looked online.
I don't know what they look like. No.
It's a little vertical battery holder, actually.
But I doubt it. Have you checked the Zelda chest?
What Zelda chest?
My little plastic Zelda chest. You know, because things often appear in there, like when we need to complete the level.
Well, that's what Zelda chests are for, actually. When you've got a task to complete or something, you open the Zelda chest and you find what you're looking for. But no, Josh, I've not looked in your Zelda chest.
Wow. Actually, we have it here, so...
Oh, wow. Shall we have a look inside the Zelda chest to see what there is?
The Zelda chest.
So, here is the Zelda chest.
Let's
Let's see what's in it.
Oh my god!
It is a button battery holder. Just what we were looking for. How lucky was that, Josh?
Very.
Brilliant. That's amazing. Who would ever thought that the Zelda chest would have just what we needed to complete our task? So I'll tell you what, now that we've got all our parts together and we can actually fix parts and we can fix the Dreamcast, shall we get on with that?
Insert the footage.
Have a look at how we fix a Dreamcast. So these are the pieces you need to replace the CMOS battery in your Dreamcast. Okay, so obviously you're going to need
a Dreamcast.
Very important. You're not going to get far without one of these. Soldering iron.
Deadly.
Some solder. Now, if you've got a desoldering tool like this one, the job is a lot easier because you're going to you're going to have to unsolder the old battery. A screwdriver.
A battery.
You're going to need a battery. We've got a Duracell DL2032. If yours has got a picture of a baby on it with bowed legs, that's even better. And also, you're going to need a vertical cell button battery holder, and you can get these from eBay. These are pretty cheap. Right, so there's 4 screws to undo on the Dreamcast. One here, one here, and the other one is underneath the modem unit.
Can't see it.
So we have to take the modem unit off the Dreamcast.
Ah, yes.
Right, so with the modem unit removed, you can see the 4th screw. So Josh, do you want to undo those screws? Once you've got all 4 screws out, make sure you turn the Dreamcast over. Do not try and take it apart face down. Because all the guts will fall out. So
and you don't want that in your kitchen worktop.
Let's take the lid off it.
Do the honours.
Yeah, do the honours.
Oh, no, not that.
Gently take it off and put the lid to one side. Lovely. Right, so there's our Dreamcast exposed, and you can see there on the board, there is the battery, and these only last about 10 years. Only 10 years, and you can see that it's soldered to the control PCB board here. So what we need to do is release the screws that hold this board in place and desolder that battery. So let's get on and take that control board out. First thing we need to do is release this cable, and you can do that very gently by waggling it backwards and forwards, and we'll do that now. Right, so we've taken the screws off now, Josh, and the control board is loose. You need to release this fan cable here, which is connected to the fan. While the lid's off, actually, we'll have a quick look at the Dreamcast. There's the optical drive, which is the the big black thing. That's the GD-ROM, actually, which is a proprietary drive that was made for the Dreamcast. It holds a little bit more than a CD-ROM. And there's the power supply that's actually built in. There's no external brick needed for this console. No. It's all built in there like that. So now we've released the screws, we'll take this control board out. We've released the control board.
Yep.
And
put is on another big
There's
control
a
board.
close. We'll put it on another big control board. Yeah, that's right.
It's actually a chopping up board, isn't it?
It is a chopping board,
But
isn't it?
we save it for the retro shed.
So there is the battery, and if we look underneath, if we turn it over,
There's another control board.
you can see there, I can focus in, you can see the 3 pins that hold the battery in place.
Yeah.
It is these 3 pins here.
And they're exactly the same.
Incidentally,
Look at that.
Josh noticed,
Yeah.
what a stroke of luck.
They're exactly the
They're
same.
exactly the same pins. That is why we bought this particular thing. So next step is to unsolder
Oh dear.
the old battery.
I'm a...
Let's unsolder these 3 pins then. So
What was that?
this is a desoldering tool. Don't want to leave the heat on for too long because these tracks are quite thin and delicate. So what you want to do is desolder carefully. So there's a heat. There you go.
Wiggle.
Wiggle that gently out. There you go. So that's the old battery out of the control board. So now what we need to do is fit the holder. Right, so that's the old battery taken out, and luckily enough, the button holder fits perfectly in the same
Position.
as the battery. So all we need to do now is just
Change the battery.
solder that holder into position. And all we need to do is just carefully solder that into position. Again, don't leave the iron on for long because these tracks are really delicate. If we turn it over,
Then you have that to dry.
no, it dries instantly. There you go. That's the new button holder in place. All we need to do now is put the battery into it.
Yep.
There you go, so the battery is slotted into the holder. Make sure you get it the right way around. Obviously plus faces the plus sign.
Yep.
Nice and easy. Right, we're ready to put it back together. That is it, that's the job done. Okay, so put the control board back into the Dreamcast and don't forget to connect up the fan connector, which is just there, and then pop these screws back in. Right, that's the control board screwed back in again, and the next bit is to reinstall this connecting cable here. Now you need to be very careful with that so you don't bend or crease it. Right, that's the cable back in. Make sure you seat it very carefully so it's completely flat on the front and down on the back down there. So as long as that's seated nice and gently, we can pop the lid back on, Josh.
Yay.
Lid time.
Here it is.
Right, carefully
So I
put the-
literally just slot it on.
put
Is
the
it this
lid-
way?
That's it. Put the lid gently on the top.
Literally just slot it on.
Okay.
That's nice. I'm
Hold
perfect.
it all together and turn it upside down. Do not drop it.
Oh my god.
That's not funny.
It's getting old, that isn't
It's
it?
an old joke,
It's getting
yeah.
old, that.
And we pop the 4 screws back in.
Okay.
Right, that's the modem module on. Turn it over. And that is how to replace the dead CMOS battery in a Dreamcast. Josh, do you reckon you could do that?
No.
Oh. Beautiful thing, look at it. It's got 4 player ports on the front built in actually, which is quite good.
A, B, C and D.
Yeah, look at that, powered by Windows CE. It's a nice looking machine actually, nice and compact.
That's quite small, isn't it?
It is nice, yeah. Blue Dreamcast logo in Europe, orange Dreamcast logo in
Really?
Japan.
Really?
I can't remember why. Power. What's around the back? Oop, we got AC in, no power brick. It's got a nice power supply built in. Serial port,
AV out.
RGB AV out,
And the line.
and a modem. So if you want to go surfing on the internet, you actually could with this console.
Really?
Well ahead of its time. Yeah.
Google.
Lovely machine. Right, let's see if it works.
Right, that wasn't so hard, was it really?
No, not
No.
at all.
Well, considering-
The hardest part was actually filming.
The hardest part was actually getting the window cleaner to be quiet.
Yeah,
and-
the window cleaning kept on trampling through the kitchen. Then Mum came in to start cooking.
Yeah, that's right. Mum was trying to cook a pizza for you, and
And
we
then
had
the window cleaner kept on coming through saying, excuse me, with his big, like, things.
whole thing
yeah.
in his hand. But we managed to get you know, we sounded very professional. We didn't sound like ourselves at all. It was almost like...
That's what I said. I said we don't sound like the retro.
Here is a Dreamcast. Let's turn it upside down and take out the screws.
You sound like Roger Moore.
No. Where'd you keep the diamonds? Anyway... We digress. Let's talk about Dreamcast before this lot get
So-
bored.
Sega Dreamcast was the first of the 6th generation
Yeah.
of video gaming consoles, but sadly the last home console released by Sega
Very
in Japan
sad.
on November 1998.
It was, yeah.
The US and Europe versions were released on the memorable date of the 9th of the 9th, 1999.
Yeah, you're not going to forget 99.99, are you? Really? It wasn't 99.99 in cost, though, was it?
It was a product of a company that had enjoyed immense success back in the early 90s
Yeah.
with the Genesis, Mega Drive, but Sega was now a struggling company that was in quite a bit of debt.
They were struggling big time, actually. Since the release of the Genesis or the Mega Drive, same console, nothing Sega had
They're the
done.
same?
Yeah, it was called the Mega Drive in the Europe and the UK.
I thought they were both two separate consoles.
Genesis and Mega Drive is the same console. Just
didn't know
renamed it for the different markets,
Didn't know
really.
that.
They had massive success with the Genesis, but the add-ons for this console were an absolute failure, all of them. I mean, the Mega CD was a complete flop. The 32X, what a complete flop. And then, of course, they made it worse by releasing the Saturn, which was a big flop. So Sega needed something that was going to be a huge hit for them, and it needed to be very, very powerful. It needed to be an absolute market winner, really.
Yeah. So that's exactly what the Dreamcast was designed to be. It was a very powerful console that was ahead of its time, actually, and had a great lineup of very good games with arcade quality visuals.
Yeah. Awesome.
It was some quirky but fun Sonic titles like Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, which I love.
Crazy Taxi's awesome.
Soul Calibur, House of the Dead. It really was arcade quality visuals, and in your home, and that's what Sega became
That's what
famous
Sega
for.
were famous for, and actually, and the only other contributors in the market at the point of the Dreamcast in this time, I think, was Nintendo 64 and the Sony PlayStation. And let's face it, the PlayStation was awesome. And the Dreamcast was much more powerful than both of these. I mean, Sega had learned the lessons of the past with the Saturn. And instead of designing another powerful console that was very hard to develop for with multiple CPUs, they went for basic off-the-shelf components. And it was supported by Windows CE operating system. And for this reason, it was very easy to port games from PC across to the Dreamcast. That's right. I couldn't get my words out then.
Now this is the confusing part. So if you're my age,
now for the techie bit. The Dreamcast had a Hitachi SH4 32-bit RISC processor. It had 16 meg of RAM, 8 meg of video RAM, and 2 meg of audio RAM. It had a Video Logic Power VR GPU chipset, which was made by NEC back in the day, a very, very powerful graphics processing unit, and a 32-bit Yamaha sound chip. It used... What's the matter with your face?
no idea what you just said.
Okay. It used a 1 gigabyte GD-ROM format optical disc, which was like a double density CD, really. And they chose this because, one, because it stored more than a CD, and two, Sega hoped that it would cut down on piracy. But this wasn't the case. You can actually burn Dreamcast games to a standard CD-ROM and play it in there. But, I mean, the Dreamcast, the name alone, it was a machine that was capable of casting dreams.
Oh my god. Enough of the techie side now, but it was around this point that people stopped going to the arcades to play the latest video games.
Sad.
Because the home consoles at this point had such good,
Technology.
visuals and stuff that it had more than the arcade machines.
Well, they were as good as the arcade machines.
People just played the latest games at home. I mean, why would you want to traipse through the door to the arcade if you could just sit on the settee playing your console?
Well,
you know
I would.
what I mean?
I love the arcades.
The home consoles literally killed the video.
That's
arcades.
exactly right. Yeah,
That's
and
a very sad thing.
this console had a lot to do with that. Actually, the market at this point in time was changing. 1998, 1999. I mean, why would you want to go to the arcade, pump loads of coins into a machine? You were up against lives and time when you could sit at home and play arcade machines. Now, here's a fact. Actually, where I lived...
Did you know?
Yeah, did you know where I lived there was this huge complex called Dave and Buster's? Anyone from Birmingham will remember this. Dave and Buster's were in Shirley near Solihull, and it was a massive... It was like a bar. It had an arcade. It had pool tables, snooker tables. It was a fabulous place to go. And out the back, just beyond the restaurant, they had this massive video arcade. And some of the greatest machines from Sega were in this arcade. House of the Dead, Star Wars trilogy. Crazy Taxi was in there. And, it was technology like this that literally killed the arcades,
Sega actually were an arcade company, which probably you all know.
Yeah.
But they started life in the arcades, and they began to put powerful hardware into the hands of home users.
Yes.
Like
And
the
that was it.
Dreamcast, that ended up killing the video arcades.
That's right, the video cards don't exist anymore because of machines like this. And at this point, Sega had serious problems with their corporate image, and consumers did not trust Sega at all. The add-ons for the Mega Drive / Genesis were a total flop. The Saturn was a failure. So really, were you going to put your faith in Sega's new console? The Saturn was supposed to be a 3D powerhouse of a machine.
Yeah.
But really, it was more of a powerful 2D machine, and it was very, very difficult for people to develop for the Saturn. The PlayStation, however, was designed to be a 3D machine, and it was a lot easier to create games for. Sega was such a tainted brand at this point. Companies like EA and Squaresoft,
God, no, not EA.
After their failures with the Sega Saturn, they decided they weren't going to write games for the Dreamcast.
Well, they were going to ditch Sega.
They literally ditched Sega and the Dreamcast from day one. They weren't interested. Do you know, here's a thing. Did you know that in Sega, as a company, there was even a debate as to whether they were going to brand it the Sega Dreamcast.
What, so they were going to put
look
Sega
on the front, it's got the Sega badge on the front.
It just says Dreamcast on the top.
Yeah, but there was a debate. They were going to drop the words Sega from this console because the brand was like a poison chalice. They were just going to call it Dreamcast.
You don't go out and say, I'm going to buy a Sony PlayStation. You just go out and say, I'm going to buy a PlayStation.
And they wanted to drop the whole Sega thing from this console.
Because they thought people weren't going to buy it just because it said Sony on it. Or
and
Sega even.
That's right, yeah. But do you know, the biggest problem, or another huge issue for the Dreamcast was Sony. They were about to launch the PlayStation 2 in about 6 months later. Now, at this point, Sony had 60% of the gaming market back in 98-99.
Well, that's over half.
Yeah, I mean, the original PlayStation completely walked all over the Saturn.
Flop.
Sega... What was a flop?
Saturn.
The Saturn.
Flop.
You're right, yeah, it was a flop. Sega were going to have a real tough time selling this console to people. The marketing and hype over the PlayStation 2 was absolutely immense. Sony had got the money. Yeah, and they kept going on about this emotion engine, which was the graphical processing unit in the PS2.
Oh dear, tech time.
And they were releasing amazing demos, and the PS2 demos were blowing people away. And people decided from the outset that they weren't going to buy a Dreamcast. It was better to wait another 6 months to a year for the PS2.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the PS1, if you're, like, a games console and you release a really good first console, then the next thing to do is release another one.
That's right.
That's why there's been, 4 PS4? PlayStations?
And people knew this. And that's pretty much what happened to me, regardless of how good the Dreamcast was. And it was
waited for the PS2,
very good console. Yeah. I saw the Saturn as a flop. I bought a PlayStation 1, and when this came out, I thought, now the PlayStation 2 is going to walk all over it. And that's exactly what I did. I just sat and waited for the PlayStation 2.
6 months later.
I wasn't interested in this wonderful little machine, which I think, looking back, was a big mistake.
Another huge selling point for the PlayStation 2 is the fact that it also had a DVD player.
Yeah.
DVDs weren't actually popular in Japan, but they were huge in the US and Europe.
They were, yeah.
So this is another reason people held off for a PS2.
Yeah.
Over the Dreamcast.
That's right,
the PS2 utilised a DVD-ROM format which could hold significantly more than the Dreamcast's GD-ROM format.
That's right, yeah. I mean, people thought, oh, I'll buy a PS2 and I also get a DVD player with it, yeah. The Dreamcast was launched to a really lacklustre reception and very little was made of it, which is a huge shame because it had some features that were well ahead of its time. It had an online play service, it had an internet browser built in, it had memory adapters, actually.
What's with Google on it?
I think you could probably access... Bing didn't exist back in 1998. I think Google did. You could probably access Google on it, Cool. And the other thing that was great about it, that the memory cards were actually little consoles as well. There's a picture of one there. And certain games allowed you to play little games on the memory card. The memory card's got 2 buttons and a directional thing.
And you take it out. It's like the Game Boy a bit, but it's tiny. It's like a tiny little thing like this. And you can play games like... Pokemon, Tomodachi, games like that, can't you?
That's right, yeah. There were little miniature consoles built into the controllers.
Which I find quite cool, to be honest, because you can just slip it out and keep on playing.
Yep. It was the first home console to ship with a modem built in. Later on, this was replaced with an Ethernet adapter. It had a keyboard, it had a mouse, it had a light gun. It even had a fishing rod controller. And incidentally, you can use that fishing rod to play beat-em-up games as well, so I read.
Dare I say it?
Take that!
Dare I say it, but the little, the little card thing.
Yeah.
You take it out and you play on it.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the Switch. Should I dare say it?
Let's not talk about the Switch.
Yeah,
We'll talk about the
Switch.
Switch.
You've got little controls, and then you take it off, and you can, take it with you to the airport or something. Like in the Switch advert, it's like everyone sat on the seats playing on the. Because you can just take it out and keep on playing, can't you? Like,
I don't know what you're talking about, Josh.
what? You guys, come on! Don't you get it? Like,
We don't like to talk about the Switch, do we?
no, we don't do it. It sold approximately 10.2 million.
What, the Switch or the Dreamcast?
No, the Dreamcast. Forget
sorry.
the Switch.
Thank you.
The 10.2 million units
Yeah.
during its life, which sounds like a lot.
It does
when you
actually,
compare it to,
10.2 million
like,
Dreamcast.
Flops like the Virtual Boy that shipped 700,000.
Yeah.
But the PS2 came out a year later, sold over. Ready for this?
So 10 million Dreamcasts and how many PS2s?
2 million PS2s.
2
No, I'm
million.
joking, 150
150 million?
PS2s. That's a lot.
150 million PlayStation 2s
Compared to 10
versus
million
10.2
Dreamcasts.
million Dreamcasts. So,
It's not bad.
by the end of the year 2000, Sega had lost over $350 million on the Dreamcast. And once again, the writing was on the wall for this wonderful little
Flop.
machine. They literally stopped supporting the console shortly after. And that was a huge shame, actually, because Sega had written some brilliant games. They were all in-house developed. A lot of the games were written by Sega for the Dreamcast. Sega, at this point, dropped out of the home console market, which is so sad, and became a software house. And in January 2001, Sega announced the end of the wonderful Dreamcast. Sounds a bit like Atari, really. Isn't it amazing that Sega and Atari, both industry, massive players, both made
without
such
trace.
huge mistakes, and had to pull out of the console market. So it's like history repeating itself, isn't it, really?
But, good things, in 2009, IGN named Dreamcast the 8th greatest video game console of all time.
Yeah.
Giving credit to the innovations and software for the system. According to IGN also, the Dreamcast was the first console to incorporate a built-in modem for online play.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is true, actually.
Yeah, which is what you do now, really, isn't it?
You just got on PS4,
Yeah.
innit? Play online.
Yeah.
And while the networking lacked the polish and refinement of its successors, right, it was the first time users could play with other users with Dreamcast around the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it is a sad story because Sega were one of the greatest arcade manufacturers of all time. And growing up, they were the only company that could give Nintendo a challenge back in the day.
Oh, God.
The market changed, though. I mean, the market changed in the late 90s, and the likes of Sony and Microsoft absolutely dominated the home console market. I've got very fond memories of Sega, the Master System, the Game Gear, the Mega Drive. Sega went the way of Atari, like I said. I mean, it's a shame. I think they are now just a software house. If they got their act together now and just released absolutely brilliant games for everybody else's consoles.
Oh, so they released, like, a game for the PS4?
Yeah, you've got a Sonic game for the Wii.
Have I?
Yeah, that one where he just runs around collecting rings, which is what Sonic does, really. But you've got that Sonic game on the Wii, haven't you?
Wii?
Yeah. And you hold the controller like this, don't you? And you go from side to side, and he runs through that desert.
Oh, that one!
What's
That's
it called?
so old. That's like...
Can't remember what it's
I
called.
don't
We'll
even
look
know.
that one up.
That's so old. So, now that we've fixed our actual Dreamcast,
Yep.
let's take a look at some games.
Let's have a look at some of the greatest games that were released for
Crazy
the
Taxi!
Dreamcast. Yes.
Ready to rumble boxing.
Ready to Rumble Boxing. That was given to us by...
Press start to join.
Press
Dean
start to
Hedger.
join. Thank you, guys. About time we've had a look at this. We've actually got the right cable now, so...
Yay.
Right, let's choose a box. So me and Josh are utterly
Rubbish.
useless at...
Well, guys,
Games like
expect
this.
me to be rubbish. I hate fighting games.
You hate fighting games. That's
Sorry,
only because you were beaten.
press start to join. By the way, you sent this before the fight with Izzy,
You
so
did,
it's not your
yes.
fault. Just that has permanently ruined my experience with fighting games. So
Dean, I think Josh has been completely traumatised
by fighting games.
By fighting games.
I'm
so
sorry, but games like this I just hate.
let's give this a go.
No offence. I mean, it's not your fault because the fight with Izzy was after you sent it.
Right, so I'm the guy with the big afro, and I have absolutely no idea how to play this.
He's swinging too much. He's swinging his fist too much. You can easily do that and put a counter strike in. Your boxing
Do you wanna play?
have to be fast and sharp. That is just look at his punches. Wait, that was all right. So they're very long and thick.
Oh my god, I'm useless at this.
That guy's from Chester. Oh my god, you beat him. Nice.
2, 3.
Oh no, he's up.
The graphics are good. I like it.
Next, try and play as one of the big guys to see if they get like a special move, like a belly flop or something like that. Because that would be kind of a good special move. Oh, you beat him again. Nice.
I don't know how I did that, Josh.
It's weird. Look, before we start recording, we were absolutely rubbish, and now that's doing really good.
I think we're still absolutely rubbish.
Hits. It's one of those. It's not responding. That's the problem with me. I'm not blaming my equipment. Like after he hits you, it's programmed so that you can't like.
Can't hit him at all now. Oh, that's because he's down.
Look how much health you had left.
So we actually won a fighting game.
Yes, not a fighting game.
Not a fighting game, but a tennis game. This is Virtua Tennis, and
I'm not the best at tennis.
I've heard a lot about this game. Apparently, it's very, very good.
Right.
Tennis. Wow, that looks good.
So how'd you serve? Right, okay. How'd you hit it back? Oh, A.
Actually, that looks really good.
Oh, yes. I think it's just A,
Now,
actually.
I'm not a tennis game fan at all, but this...
I actually quite like this.
This looks really good.
Yes!
Nice.
Yes. 15 love. It's pretty good, actually. I
I
like
actually
this.
really like this. I'll tell you something, Josh. I am really impressed with the small bunch of games
I
we've
like
got
this.
for the Dreamcast.
I quite like. Oh, no! Nice shot, dude.
What do you think of this?
I quite like it.
This is really good, isn't it?
I like how there's only two major buttons, move and A. Oh,
There's probably more moves than that.
okay, there's two moves.
Probably-
Using. Oh, yes.
Nice.
He's going to hit it down there. I'm actually really tense right now.
What a great game.
I love this. No! Oh! Come on, Josh, you can pull this back.
Do you like this?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? I like this. I've not even played it yet and I like it. I just like the visuals. Look at it.
I think if you hold down A, it adds more power to it.
That's cool.
Oh,
Nice
yes!
shot. What a cool game.
I feel like I'm at Wimbledon. If you can see my face right now, I am proper
Yeah, I
tense.
haven't got Josh Cam on.
Oh my god, I'm proper. My hands are sweating. I love this.
Don't tell me it's tense.
Just a bit.
This nice
No,
shot.
you know when I've been saying games are tense?
Yeah.
I was actually joking before.
This one
And
is.
this one actually is tense.
Nice. Got it. It's on your side. Nice shot.
Yes! Yes!
Good shot, Josh.
Yes! Oh, look at them reflexes.
Sega Rally Championship. This is brilliant. Do you know what? I love Sega's rally games.
I'm going to go
Absolutely
for the
brilliant.
Looks good.
Let's see what this looks like. Alright, okay.
Hang on. Oh, yeah, fine.
Fan accelerator. Do you prefer interior view or exterior?
Don't know, usually I prefer exterior, but this game I prefer
Yeah,
exterior.
this looks nice. This, do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of V-Rally on the PlayStation. That's one I'll have to introduce.
Oh, look,
you
I'm
to.
drifting.
You
I'm
are?
drifting. Nice.
Very nice visuals. I like it. Do you know
Oh,
what?
sick, I'm drifting again. Is that an ostrich?
I would have been really happy with the Dreamcast had I bought it back in 1998.
Yeah, but you didn't think to,
No, but I didn't.
did you?
No.
Oh, look at them drifting
Nice.
skills. Oh, it's an ostrich.
Watch the ostriches.
I'm watching them. Check out these airborne skills. That water effects. Oh my god, the people aren't standing in the middle of the track like in real life.
Nice visual. Do you know what? This is virtually arcade quality. This looks like it belongs in an arcade machine.
Well, do you know what I'm happy about?
What?
People aren't standing in the middle of the road like they do in real life, trying to take
there is
pictures.
that.
Oh, that guy was. Oh, I'm actually drifting. Sick.
Oh my god, 7 seconds. Yep,
Come on,
you've
come on,
made
come
it.
on, come on. Yes, yes.
Nice.
Woo! Nice.
Well done.
I did better than last time I played it. Rank 15th. Not bad. Right,
Second
track
stage.
2. Go! Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
What do you think?
Oh, this track's a lot.
It's a lot tougher, isn't it?
Just a bit. I prefer desert.
Harder to slide on tarmac.
Yeah, I prefer desert.
What do you think of the game?
It's not letting me drift that much because it's tarmac. Do you know what? I really like it actually. I prefer it to games like. Nope. Oh, I can't drift on the. Oh, this is better. What? 3 seconds 2? 1? What? Right there.
Oh, failure. Okay, that's great.
Right, next.
Like that.
Ooh, look at this.
Ooh, silent scope.
Ooh, look at this. Ooh, sniper game.
Story mode, yes, go for it.
Ooh. I like to look at this.
Now, did this come out before Time Crisis?
I do not know.
Around about the same time. Time Crisis was by Namco. Don't worry watching this, just pull the trigger.
Okay, right. I guess skip my twin. Oh!
Nope, that's not how you play it, Josh.
Huh?
Let go of the trigger.
What? Right. Huh? Wait, what? Oh, do I shoot these guys?
Zoom in and see if they're enemy.
I think they are. Alright, do I shoot this
Yeah,
guy?
he's an enemy. Yeah.
Oh, I got a shot!
Air shot!
Oh, there's a guy. Wait, I've got... 34 seconds! Wait, where's the guy? I'm really bad!
You are really bad.
Ah!
Oh.
Ah!
Oh.
Oh, got him in the leg!
You
A
got
shot!
him in the leg.
A shot! I'm really bad at this game, but who cares? Where's the guy? A shot! Where's the...
You zoom out, it's easier to target.
Yeah. There's people down there. Hurry up. Oh, a shot! Did I run out of time?
Zoom out.
Oh, there's a guy, people up there, there's people up there. This game's really difficult.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's inverted controls. I hate inverted. Oh, I hate inverted. That's why I'm so bad, because it's inverted.
Let's have a go.
I'm really bad with inverted controls. I'm sorry. I can't play.
Right.
I can't play. You should be really good because you like inverted, don't you?
I'm starting where you can.
Yeah. I do not like inverted controls.
Right.
This reminds me of Sniper anyway. There's one guy versus like 1,000 people, he still wins. It's like one guy versus the whole of Germany, and he still wins.
I like this actually. It's quite good.
47%. Oh,
Take it
so
out.
good.
I'm pretty sure this was in the arcade, you know.
Was it?
Yeah, I might be wrong.
Shoot in the bum. Oh. You didn't even shoot him then. Oh, he moved.
We moved.
Shoot him. That didn't. Baz. What happened to Ghost Recon? Yeah, all your sniping skills.
Well, this is
right?
not Ghost Recon, mate.
We got a time extender. That's good.
That's
Double
quite good. I
accuracy.
like this.
60%. Not bad.
Right, so there you go. That was the Sega Dreamcast. What an amazing machine. I love it to bits. And that was, unfortunately, the sad end of
A bit
Sega
tense.
as the home console manufacturer. So, Josh, over to you. What
Wow.
do you think of the Dreamcast?
You probably already know what I'm going to say. It was a bit tense.
Why was it a bit tense?
Because the graphics are so good. It just made me like, you blew me away.
They are very
like,
good, aren't they? They are very good.
Tense.
So when I was telling you about
Tense.
the Power VR 2 by NEC GPU, that is what gives you those amazing graphics.
Say that again.
No.
So yeah, when I first saw the actual gameplay, like, I was like, whoa, that's really good.
It is
I wasn't
very good.
expecting that
No,
at all.
it's
I
not
mean,
4K, it's
look
not
at
HD.
Half-Life 4. It could hold a complex game like Half-Life,
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
it?
Half-Life was originally released on the PC and was very,
Yeah.
very good for its day. It still looks good now. And it's not 4K, it's not HD, but you know
It's
what?
not
It's
1080p.
sharp, it's very crisp, and it looks really nice on a CRT monitor, not an LED, not an LCD flat panel. On the old style monitors, it looks absolutely wonderful, actually.
Yep.
So, what else is there to talk about before we go? Should we go on about Kapow Retro Station once again, guys? Yeah, we're going to keep going on about the Retro Station event until October because we want you guys, well, if you live in the Midlands and you like retro gaming and you want to play 24 hours of pure retro gaming fun, you need to get yourself along to this event, actually. I can't remember how much tickets are. I think they're about £12, but all the proceeds are going to Macmillan Cancer Research, so there is no better excuse to go and play retro video games. It's October.
No gardening, no washing up,
no. Tell your wives, tell your partners, you're going to go retro gaming, but you're going to be fighting cancer while you're doing it. Very difficult to argue that one, isn't it?
Do you know what? Mum could probably argue that. She'd probably come up with something.
No, she won't. No, she won't.
Probably would.
I'll be there. Josh will be there. I think
We'll have to
Isabel's
sneak
coming
out.
as well. Izzy's coming. And it's October 22nd, 23rd. If I'm wrong, the information's down here.
In the description.
The description's down there. If you can make it, come along. It's going to be an absolutely great blast, actually.
Anything else you need to talk about?
No, I think that's pretty much it, really, for this episode. Okay, don't forget to join us next time when we'll be discussing... Actually, we need to have a look at... We're going back. Way back, early 80s.
1952.
Yeah. 1952?
1953 then.
Name one arcade or machine or console or computer that was out in 1952. Go!
PS3.
No. So we'll be looking at the Spectrum
Commodore
Plus...
64.
No. 1953.
You should have said get your facts right.
Next time, we're going back to the early 80s to look at the Sinclair Spectrum. We're going to look at a bit of the history of the Spectrum and what made it such a brilliant British innovation.
I've never played on it.
Have you not played on the Spectrum? You played Jetpack on the Spectrum. We had a look at Jetpack, didn't we?
No, we didn't. We played it on the Xbox 360.
We played it on the Spectrum, we played it on the BBC, we played it on the Xbox 360.
Oh yes, we did loads of versions, didn't
Best
we?
version of Jetpack ever, the Spectrum version.
No, it was the Xbox 360.
No, we're going to be looking at some great Spectrum stuff. So don't forget to join us next time when we're looking at Sir Clive Sinclair's Little Baby. See you soon. Take care. Bye. Say goodbye, Josh.
Bye.
What's the matter with you?
You never had a baby. How can you give birth to a piece of plastic?
Josh, the Sinclair Spectrum was Sir Clive's baby,
You
trust
can't
me.
give birth to a piece of plastic. That's ridiculous. Get your facts right. Oh my god. Oh, it's raining.
Is it raining?
Oh.
It's raining heavily. Oh god, there's a chair out there.